Master your money, free your future. Welcome to Budget for Life. My name is Jeremy. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm a financial advisor, but this video is not financial advice. In this video, I want to say hey, of course, to the chat, to you guys. Hang out, talk stock, talk ball. But particularly, we're going to look at PowerPacks, finish up estimating their Q4 revenue from PowerPacks, and kind of take a guess at will we see that materiality threshold crossed in Q4 or not. Excited to get into it. It won't be too long of a live stream today, but thank you, of course, for all the engagement. Thank you to those that that comment, that follow along. Thank you, of course, to those that join the channel. Thank you for the likes, subscriptions, all of the above. And what's up, guys? So, as y'all know, I've been tracking, well, maybe you don't know, but I've been tracking how many public reports we see of PowerPacks pulls and using GameStop's provided PowerPacks odds, estimating the total revenue represented in PowerPacks purchases. And in Q3, we saw 7.7 million of potential sales represented if you were to take the sum of all of the total revenue from Q3, or just 6.9 million represented if you were to only take the chase card odds. If we think that only 20% of pulls are being posted, that would have led to a $38 million revenue for PowerPacks. If 50% are being posted, that would have led to 14 million. I think if you guys have been following along my channel, you know that several other estimate mechanisms can about a $30 million revenue for PowerPacks in Q3. We do not have all the information we need to estimate for Q4 yet, but we will see those other data points when their 10Q comes out and 10K in the end of March. For now, though, we can still finish up. I was at January 19th. Last time I was at this Machamp here on the PSA PowerPacks subreddit. So we might just kind of log, and I've kind of stopped doing all the super low ones and just trying to get the heavy hitters to at least give us a decent idea. So let's start with GameStop's. Oh, geez. Yeah, the PowerPacks itself. Let's see, where did we leave off? Okay, I got this one on there. I'm pretty confident. Let's see. Yep. New chase card. Great. Okay, what do we got here? A chase. Wow, that card is awesome. How much is it? Oh, a chase on a starter. Okay, fine. Fine, we'll log it. Boom. So that just went from 7 to 8. That is the 8th Pokemon starter chase that I have logged that happened during Q4. You guys tracking? Great. 503K on a 500 Pokemon. Puts you right here. Congrats. Another Q4. What do we got? Oh, why is that so small? You got to be kidding me. Oh, let's go. An 8K value on Uner puts you in the third bracket there. Boom. This. How am I gonna? I'm not gonna watch this for 5 hours. Just show me the highlight. Come on. Okay, here we go. Here's a highlight. Nice. 12K on a lunar. Let's go. That's $1 million. Let's go. 30K. Oh, come on. But that happened in that potentially happened in Q1. This one right here. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. What's up, Zamora? What's the leak from GameStop employees? CSGO. I haven't seen the leak, quote unquote. At least I don't think I have. What's the leak? Okay. Here you go. Here is Q1. Boom. That one card right there represents $2.5 million potentially spent. That's amazing. Oh, it's me. BK says a trust me, bro source says we're buying Best Buy. You know, it's possible. It is like, of all the honorable mentions, it's the most likely, but I gave it like a 1-2% chance of happening. So, but it was my fourth most likely pick. So if Michael Burry gets to claim all 10 names that he threw out there, Best Buy would have been my number 4. But not super pumped about it. Although it's definitely very, I mean, the only reason I wouldn't be pumped is it's really tough to turn that thing around. But yeah, they're definitely sleepy management, and they definitely make a ton of revenue. And it's obviously a product sector that Cohen's familiar with. Being electronics. I thought they don't really need the cash as bad. They also don't have any NOLs. And then I just thought the brand itself is like, I don't know, does he really covet it? After so many years of declines. It's just, and as far as the valuation, this to me felt like the most, like, if any of these, none of these are red, right? None of these are like deal breakers to me, whereas all of these have red. All of the other honorable mentions have a reason why I think there's no way. Best Buy doesn't. It's not a no way, but I thought on the valuation, like this would be like a darker orange to me. Like, is that really undervalued? A 21.5 PE? Like, it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. We'll see though. I mean, if he buys it, then it means he thinks he can turn it around. And if he turns it around, you are talking about 41 billion in revenue compared to Macy's or Kohl's at 22 and 16. And they also have been on the decline as far as revenue generation. So like, you could say after Target, maybe Best Buy should be my favorite of all of them. Maybe it should be. It's not though, because also as a bag holder of BBBYQ, I'm really hoping that DK Butterfly comes back online. And the NOLs from DK Butterfly would not really be applicable within Best Buy. But we'll see. I don't know why that employee would have that information though. So I'm not putting a ton of stock into that, but it's possible. Beckett Cat says, I expect you can combine GameStop stores into the back section of Target stores. I agree. Like the Target electronics section could just be named GameStop like that. You could totally do that. Could you quick flip BlackBerry? These are very random comments. I mean, are you asking about me? Can I? Like, I don't know. Looks like in November, you could have quick flipped it if you bought it for $2 and sold it for $5.70. But, this is not the chart you want to stare at all day. Oh, BB. Okay. BB is in Best Buy, not as in BlackBerry. BB is in BBY. He would not buy it if he's trying to flip it. He would only, that doesn't fit the narrative. He would buy it if he thinks he can turn it around. I'd rather him buy Target or Macy's personally, but I might rather him buy Best Buy than Kohl's, even though the valuation's not as deep. Like the Kohl's is such a deep value, but it's definitely a secondary brand. Best Buy is a primary brand, but it's just not as deep a value. So if you're going to bet on Cohen, this would be a bigger swing to go Best Buy rather than Kohl's or Macy's for that matter, but I'd much rather see Target personally. Oh, Clark Kent says, can you quick flip the business? Yeah, good clarification. I did drive by a Wendy's today and think, man, that quote is kind of sticking with me, like about the most entertaining option is the most likely that Elon Musk always talks about. I'm just like, I think it would be probably pretty entertaining if you bought Wendy's. Like it's not super big, I just don't know. But to answer your question, Clark, I don't think you can quickly turn around Best Buy. Like I don't think you can. But they make a ton of revenue. So from a cost-cutting perspective, you can. But it's not like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it'd be that easy to me. It doesn't have to be easy. It can be hard. That's okay. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, obviously the economy, Mr. Beaker is talking about the economy being rough. I'd much rather own a discount store than like Target than a full price retailer like Best Buy when you think about the state of the economy. Personally. Anyways. Okay, this is awesome. Someone made 28 grand. Eventually, I'm going to have to buy one of these on a stream. Man, the freaking lunar packs. Lunar packs call my name. But I haven't done it yet. Okay, so how long until we find that Polywhirl? Geez, there's so many. I guess I should just start from the top and then connect backwards. I don't know. I kind of want to start from where I was and then go up. So many pulls, guys. We're making why doesn't Michael Burry like this business? Like why what is his deal? 8 days ago. Okay, I need to be like 20. I need to get like 25 days ago or something. 11 days. 12 days. Nice Umbreon. So cool. We're at 14. We're at 16. We're at 17. We're at 19. What else? Am I getting close? I've got to be close, right? Because 9 days. Oh, I think I might have seen this one. Okay, yeah, I clicked on that. Okay, great. Yeah, casinos are a great business. Okay, I saw that. So, I wonder how far up. I saw the Fuji for sure. Geez, this is going to be a little tough. Let me see if I can recognize the most recent lunar. I definitely saw that thingy. This one, I don't think I've seen this Mu. 20 days ago would have put it in. I don't know. I might have seen it though. I don't want to double count. I don't want to risk double counting. Let me go to one I for sure have not seen. Charizard. That's cool. Very fun. Keep or sell. Someone tell me 19 days ago. We're getting close. I'm almost positive I have not logged that Treco or Trico. Let's log it. Let's pick up from there. Boom. Back over to PowerPacks. Turn in 5 hundo into 3K. Boom. All right, let's start making some more money in Q4. Benjo, love to see you too, man. We're just trying to get some heavy hitters. That guy's cool. Holy smokes. How much did you pay for that? Tell me. Yo, why are Gengars always so expensive? Okay, it was the lunar. Dang, dude. That's a nice lunar. Boom. Lame-o. What else we got? Joe Dumars. Turning a hundo into 680. You gotta like that. Hundo into 780. Okay, fine. Fine, let's put them both on there. 1, 2. Okay, there's the Machamp. Okay, perfect. There's the Machamp. So let me take that lunar off, that platinum off, those 2 golds off, because this is where I stopped last time. Perfect. What's up, Downwego? We're done with the silver. Show me the real money. Show me the real money. Boom. That's cool. Drake May, I hope you sold it before you played yesterday. Okay, just so that football can get some love, we'll put that one in there. Here you go, football. Here you go, you little lagger. There's the Drake May one too. Why not? Football is not getting nearly the love. I think I saw this on Twitter, so I'm not going to count that one. Nice. Got a chase. Got a chase on the silver. Boom. What'd you pay for it? Whatever. What else we got? What else we got? Boom, boom. Any big hitters? He says it's a chase on the Pokemon. Boom. We got to make sure that I don't accidentally log any Q4s into Q1. We're at 16 days ago. So once we're at 9 days ago, way to break even on a diamond. Congrats to you, I guess. Nice chase. Nice. How much you pay for that? Oh, he sold it for 1080. What? Look at that. Oh. Yeah, you messed up. Well, if they valued it at 1080, then it fell into this category here. I wonder how long until those value discrepancies are done. You know what I mean? Eventually, this is going to be an efficient market. Nice. Let's go chase. How you guys doing today? How we doing? Oh, cool. Advertising at a store. Woo! Gold chase. Booyah. Look at this. Just crushing. Man, it's very exciting. No, Beckett Cat, I have not seen your sheet. You're welcome to share it with me if you want. I have not modeled Q4 yet, but I will. $700. Okay, nice. Yeah, I am a little crazy. I am a little crazy for doing this. But you got to be crazy if you 2 lunars and oh, nice. 2 lunars and a diamond. So that was a lunar. Which one was that one? I mean, this has got to be the diamond, I guess. It's got to be. Well, if you turn 25 into 36, that's down here. Boom. And then if you turn 25 into 43, that is the next. Oh, it's the same one. 25% odds. Eric says buying eBay makes a lot of sense based on efficiency when it comes to pricing. I'm not sure if I understand that, Eric. What do you mean efficiency when it comes to pricing? I think eBay runs a lot more capital efficient than the other companies. And they also just don't do nearly as much revenue. They literally do less revenue than Kohl's. Like, I know it's an exciting name, but they do like 50% less revenue than Kohl's, or like 40%. Like, they're getting crushed by Kohl's on revenue, and they're twice as expensive, and they don't need cash. They have plenty of cash relative to their debt. So I just don't think it's eBay, but I know I know we all like eBay because we all like PSA because we all like GameStop. So I understand it. But also eBay charges like something like 16% fees to sell on their platform. To me, that screams ripe for disruption. Personally, I just don't know how they're going to be able to retain the market share they have when they're taking such a huge chunk out of the revenue pie. Personally. Oh, nice. Silver Chase. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Another Drake. Sold from eBay. Nice. Golds are hitting pretty nice on the feed. Where are we at? We're at to 12 days ago. 500 into 3K. What else? Show me a couple more lunars. That's what we want to see. 50. Nice. Nice chase. Boom. Boom. Anyways, what I was saying earlier, Beckett / everyone, is you got to be a little crazy, particularly when you're talking about a turnaround or valuing a company, trying to create an edge through some type of research, analysis, etc., like the fundamentals. Like, it's easy to, like, a lot of YouTubers, like, they just want to come up on YouTube and start arguing like their thoughts, like, on YouTube. And like, no, GameStop's bad. No, GameStop's good. And it's like, look, there's a way to like figure out like what they're doing, like just let the numbers speak for themselves. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't post links in the chat. Okay. It's on your Twitter. So that's why I like to be a little crazy, because as a fundamentals guy, that's the bedrock that you can build off of. So then I don't have to like stress about what someone's opinion is that they're posting on the internet of like, oh no, this article came out and said GameStop is doomed, or oh no, the stock is down 5% today. Like, should I be angry and scared? It's like, if you focus on the performance of the company, then you probably will not feel angry and scared, and you'll probably be salivating at the opportunity. But you have to do the work to build that level of conviction, But that's part of why I'm streaming this crazy stuff like this, so that anyone else, nice Chase, let's go. What's up, Chase? I'm gonna name my next kid Chase in honor of PowerPacks. What in the world? Let's go. Let's go. We just crossed over 18 mil. We're at 11 days ago. Okay. How'd you pull that? How'd you pull that, bro? Out of a gold? Nice chase! Nice chase. Way to go. Looser. You looser. You lost the game. Holy smokes. We got another lunar. Wow. Jeez. Look at this. Look at this big pop pop. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Becca, that's the idea. The chase car revenue is right here. So if you want to extrapolate it purely from chase cards, then you would go off this number here. And then it's still just a formula of how many pulls do you think are posted? I've been saying I think it's 20 to 50%. 50% is the maximum that I think is likely. 20% is the minimum that I think is likely. But of course, it could be higher or lower than that. But that's why I fill in some of these other ones that are still relatively meaningful to kind of give us a rounded out expression. Boom! Poncho. I like my Pikachus in ponchos. Woo! Woo! I like my Pikachus in ponchos. What else we got? Ooh. What'd you pay for this? What did you pay for it? I don't know. So forget it. Like there's also the reality that some of these that are posted, I'm not even logging. You know what I mean? But I think so that's why I feel like these are conservative estimates. The reality is not everyone that shops at GameStop is like a lunatic on the stock like we are. Like not everyone's a degen. Some people just want to like buy cards. You know, like all the people that were shopping at Courtyard for all those years, you know? But this is the other reason why I like to log some that aren't chases, because look, I haven't logged a single chase diamond, but we know that some diamonds have sold during Q4, right? The odds that no one pulled a diamond or that no money was spent on diamonds all quarter is very low. You know, so this kind of calculates the revenue expected from each of the odds categories. Okay, we are into 9 days ago. We are into 9 days ago. So should we pause or should we finish? Maybe we should pause and take a look at how Q4 is looking. We'll save you for another day, Mr. Q1. Still in shock. So let's do that. Oh, wow. That's not how you want to look. There you go. Okay, so that will help me pick up where I left off. Let's try it. Q3. I mean, sorry. Q4. Here we go. 21 mil plus 1.2 mil. Oops. Any others? Oh, yeah. Don't forget about this 100,000 from baseball. Let's go. It's okay. We can't all be Pokemon. Okay, 23. And then if we only want to go off the chase cards, we would say 15.8 plus 1.2 plus 50K plus 450K. Boom. And then, wow, holy crap. So if you want to go off the top line and say that this only represents 20% of sales, then you would say PowerPacks did 115 million in sales in Q4. If you want to go off the more conservative, only the chase card number, and you want to say that more conservatively, 50% of sales are reported, posted online, then you'd say PowerPacks did 35 million in sales. So 35, which was the high end of the range in Q3, all of a sudden has become the floor in Q4. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Wow. Wow. So Beckett talks about collectibles income. Yeah, Beckett, if you follow my channel, you know that my opinion is that PowerPacks is a joint venture treated by equity accounting, which means the PowerPacks revenue is not reported in GameStop's revenue, but is being held off balance sheet. Once PowerPacks is doing either 10% of GameStop's revenue, as in if PowerPacks number is greater than 10% of GameStop's number, or if PowerPacks income number is greater than 10% of GameStop's income number, then it will be disclosed. It still won't be aggregated within these numbers, but we will get the numbers in a footnote. That's my opinion. And yeah, Excitabox says this only works if you have a reliable way of tracking chase pulls. Yeah, so this way I think is relatively reliable, but yeah, could these people be AI bots? You could say that, but the problem is GameStop is obviously like big money is obviously short GameStop. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense for the bears to be publicly artificially inflating the perceived value of GameStop. Like the incentives don't line up if these are all just fake, in my opinion. That's crazy. So here's what's kind of interesting to me. So in Q3, this number, like the other numbers indicated that 30 million was probably the better guess, which was how much less than this? 30 divided by F15. Is that how I want to do it? Show me that in a percentage. So 77% of the lower number, or how much of the higher number? Basically, a little bit more than double the low number, or 77% of the high number ended up being, based on the other ways that we tracked Q3, the most accurate guesstimate. So if you took those ratios to Q4, what do you end up with? Show me that in a dollar. Wow. Wow. So you would end up with 90 million, somewhere between 75 to 90 million dollars. Holy crap, guys. This is bigger than I thought it would be. Jeez. I mean, this is the conservative way. Like this is assuming none of these odds, right? Only basing it off the chase odds. Relative to how this mechanism functioned in Q3 versus Q4, I would argue that people were probably even more likely to post in Q3 than Q4 because it was newer. Right now, it'll be slightly fewer posts because the newness of it rubs off. Now, here's the thing. I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Where was I at with my valuation? Most recent valuation for PowerPacks assumed 250 mil as kind of the floor for an annual run rate, and I gave that a 30% chance. And right now we are looking at basically they are, I mean, 30% seems pretty high, given that even if they just taper off from here, they're already at probably over 300. It's just pretty wild. Yeah, we talked about that post, the Trust Me Bro post. I don't know if it's right or not. I wouldn't be crushed though if it's right. I would like, if Cohen can turn around Best Buy, like he's a wizard. And I definitely like, surely Best Buy's leadership would want to sell, right? Like, where that's the big thing with Target. Like, can you really get them to sell low on their stock? I don't know if you can. Anyways, this is very... So, will we see it though? Like, will it be included in the footnotes if they did 80 million in PowerPack sales? Well, the revenue number is not going to hit. Right? They would have to do less than 800 million in revenue, and the odds of that are zero. Right? They're not going to do less revenue in Q4 than they did in Q3. Even if it's at the high side, like the very high end, 115, like you would they would have to do less than 1.15 billion in Q4. Last year in Q4 they were at 1.2. So even then, like you're probably not hitting materiality on the revenue basis, which means it comes down to income. Last Q4, their operating income was 80 million. If they just keep that, but it's probably going to be higher than that. It's probably going to be like 90 million. At least. Might be a good bit more than that because they've cut so many stores. If PowerPacks does 90 million in or 8 million in sales. Jeez. At 12% to 10% margins. Show me this. How much oh, I got to work backwards now. If it's only 10%, for them to do 9 million for GameStop's net income to be 9 million. Oh, jeez. No, this is the number that I care the most about. Right? Let me remind myself of the materiality rules here. Materiality. Assets, revenue, or income greater than 10%, and it's not adjusted for GameStop's ownership percentage. So if y'all are tracking, that means Q4. Oh, geez. Let's say GameStop's going to do 100 million in operating income in Q4. That means PowerPacks would need to be greater than 10 million. Which if they're at a 12% margin, oh my gosh, it's right there, guys. Oh, it's right there. Oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all are tracking with me, but my Q3 analysis led me to say I think it's most likely that PowerPacks LLC is getting a 12% gross margin and that they likely did 33 million in revenue. What I'm saying up here is that it's likely they did somewhere between 70 to 90 million in revenue in Q4. And that will be reported depending on what GameStop's operating income is. But if this number right here, geez. Oh my gosh. Help me out. If this number right here is greater than 10% of GameStop's operating income, then we will see materiality hit. And if they continue at that 12% mark, then 10 million would be the number on 83 million in sales. The thing is, though, because that's not reported right now, like it really just comes down to if they want to disclose, and I don't think they'll want to. In other words, they can spend money to artificially lower their net income to make sure that materiality is not hit during Q4 if they don't want it to be. If they want it to be and they want that to be part of a catalyst for what numbers come out next month, then I think they would have the opportunity to recognize some last impairments, for example, related to France, I think it is, that's still pending for sale. You know, like they had 10 million in asset impairments that brought that operating income number down in Q3. If they have any more impairments available to them, they could recognize a couple impairments, bring their operating income down to 90 or 95 or 110 instead of 120 or 105 or 100, you know, whatever that operating income number is going to be. Obviously, I'll be modeling that in the coming weeks, at least putting a guesstimate on it. But it's really their choice based on the revenue that PowerPacks likely did in Q4. The revenue is not going to force it, but the income could if they wanted to. However, in Q3, they obviously didn't want to, right? And it wouldn't have anyways. So I guess it's not fair to say they obviously didn't want to. Like maybe they did want to, but it just wasn't big enough yet. But we're talking about a Q4 PowerPacks business that's literally about 3 times the size as it was in Q3. What if they do that again in Q1? Right? And we're going to have a pretty stinking good idea because guess who's the crazy man modeling it all on the spreadsheet? You know what I mean? Like, geez. What's up, Brian? By the way, great to see you here. But it really comes down to do they want this number reported or not? I don't think we know. I don't think we know. My guess is that they don't because Cohen never seems to prefer more disclosure. He seems to prefer to operate in secrecy for as long as he can, which is why I think it will be not until June with the Q1 numbers that we see PowerPack sales. But I don't see how we won't see PowerPacks numbers come June. Right? Q1 of last year, they had negative operating income, which means hypothetically, if PowerPacks was operating in Q1, if they made a single dollar, that would have been material. GameStop would have had to report, to disclose in the footnotes, PowerPacks revenue, costs, inventory, profitability, etc. They're not going to be at negative this year. I mean, even that negative was a little bit artificial because 35 million of that was asset impairments, right? And they've closed 1,000 stores since then. But PowerPacks, I don't think is going to be as cyclical as GameStop stores. Could Q4 still be their best quarter? Like, could it actually come down a little bit from Q4 to Q1? That's possible, but if it's half of what it was in Q4, which I don't think it'll come down that far, but if it did, that still would probably cross the materiality threshold on the income. Now, they could keep spending and spending and spending to expense away all that income, but even on the revenue basis, right? 732 in revenue, and it was pre-switch, but that was also with 2,500 stores. Now they don't have their Canada stores. France probably will be sold before Q1. So the revenue number could actually be lower than 732 for Q1 of 2026, which would mean that if PowerPacks can do more than 73 million in sales, again, regardless of what percentage of PowerPacks LLC does GameStop own, if PowerPacks LLC itself does 75 million in Q1, right, if they can just repeat Q4 in Q1, then boom, materiality. We'll see. I mean, I'll be tracking throughout the quarter to see if it's looking likely or if this tracking method is indicating a sharper dip. Then we could end up in the same situation where it's like, oh, it's right on that stinking line and we'll see. But I think it's more likely that it's breaking through in Q1, which overnight basically gives you some type of valuation for the business, which is still relatively modest, right? On a weighted average basis, I value it at a $1.6 billion business right now, but most people don't. Most people won't until they see the numbers. But when they see the numbers, even the bears are going to say, maybe that's $250 million worth. The modest will say, maybe that's 1.2 billion worth. Those that are aggressive on collectibles will say that might be $5.6 billion worth of business that, boom, just got reported overnight. And by the way, this is already prorated, assuming GameStop only owns half of it. So it's really a 500, 2.5, or $11 business, $11 billion business, $2.5 billion that GameStop owns half of. So anyway, super exciting to think about the clarity we're going to get from PowerPacks soon, maybe even in March. Maybe. Very exciting. All right, I'm about to wrap this up, but let's see what everyone else thinks. Benji pulled 2 PowerPacks in Q3, spent $100, went harder in Q4, spent $400. So there you go. There's the quadrupling right there. Excitedbox says, I think not everyone is posting their pools on Reddit, so you're more likely to undercount them. I doubt there are going to be that many fakes. Agreed. What's up? La Caprica says, hey, BFL, I want to see French stores to be gone. What quarter do you think it's going to be closed? I think it'll be closed. I think they're already closed. Obviously, they're still operating, so you can't just like Google search like GameStop in France. Maybe you can. Right? Like, I don't know if they have to disclose right away that they have sold. I think that will be disclosed on their 10K. And I don't know, but with Canada, it's actually a good question. Do you understand the question? Like with Canada, did they tell us the day that it sold? Or did it get officially announced on their 10Q? When did GameStop Canada sale close? Early May. Okay, so yeah, that's not on a 10Q. Announced by multiple stores. Okay, so I would think in this case that France has not yet officially been sold. I don't think GameStop has to wait for the 10K or a 10Q to update us. I think a purchaser could announce it whenever they want to, and I think it would be in their best interest to announce it. If I'm a purchaser and I'm local, I'm French, and I'm buying this American company, I would want everyone to know right away, like, hey, this is a French company now. This is not a American company anymore. So go ahead and come buy from me, because don't worry, I'll redo the sign soon. It's still called GameStop. We're working on that, but it's French owned now. So I think it's probably hasn't happened yet, but I would think in this quarter, Q1, that they will sell it. I think they just wanted to keep it over Q4 to take advantage of some of those Switch sales. I don't think they're going to be holding it for 2 years to take advantage of the whole Switch ramp. But I guess they would rather do that than sell it for a deep loss. And maybe they're just getting super lowball offers, and they're like, look, the stores aren't that unprofitable. Like we can just tread water here. But I agree. Emotionally, I would love for them to be gone. I think it would be a nice catalyst for the stock if they were gone. Benji says, I bet they make a push to shed France in Q1. I agree. I think they would want to go ahead and call it this quarter. Say, okay, that's like how big of a loss are they willing to eat? I don't know. They might. That's the question. I wish GameStop would do digital game trade-in marketplace. Continue the legacy business while costing almost nothing. Yeah, that's a super cool idea. Doji rules. Purchases one $50 pack per month. If the pool is a PSA 10, I keep it. If it's done, I take the offer and buy a $25 card. Rinse and repeat. Next purchase after March 1st. Okay. Love Star says, is GME a good investment and why? Look, this video is not financial advice, okay? But if you care to join as a friend, get access to my GameStop spreadsheet, and then spend several hours going through all of these tabs of information, it might help you. If you don't want to pay for the information is still free, available on my channel, right? You can just like learn some stuff about the business and see if it fits your profile for an investment opportunity. But it's my favorite stock, that's for sure. But is it the right stock for you? That's a great question. That's a great question. Certainly not for the faint of heart. Old Jimmy. All right. I'm going to hang up the phone, guys. I'm going to go get some lunch with my fam. Thanks for watching me log some PowerPacks today and getting some clarity on Q4 PowerPacks numbers. Very exciting. Very, very exciting potential here happening in the world of PowerPacks, with Pokemon leading the way by a wide margin, as you would expect. But also, I would think that the percentage of people that post the non-Pokemon related polls is much lower, just because of kind of the Reddit community, the GameStop brand. Like, people that are pulling sports cards probably don't get nearly as many likes. You know what I mean? Compared to people going for Pokemon. But it is also definitely, no doubt, Pokemon's, no matter what way you slice it, doing the highest percentage of it, of PowerPacks revenue. But there might be more sports revenue than we realize based on post activity. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all today. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next one.